I'm Kenneth Lancaster, and this is Mark Heck from The Give and Right. And this week on Realtree's Pay Dirt, we're going shed hunting.
So here's what we got here. We got a hollow down through here. It's just it's not that it's a big hollow. It really isn't a big one, but it's a key one for our farm here. We got a big food plot right over here, and then right over here we have about 25 acres of CRP right on top, and everything in between is the small, what we call the scruff pine trees they have in through here, and we also have some oak trees that go along this ridge out here. So this is a key component right in the middle of our farm. So we want to walk down through here. What Chris and I are really looking for here are trails that haven't been here in the last 3 years because we changed our food plot over here. We have actually a big feeder and a food plot and a mineral site and so on and so forth. So what we're doing here is we're scouting and looking for horns at the same time, right?
And this is my only chance that I'll probably ever have at picking up a deer and holding him in my hands that is bigger than him. So this is actually a little bit of a competition. So I'm taking Chris and Dan.
Whoa, and Dan?
And Tyler.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go down through here, we're going to look at a couple trails, and what we're going to do after I pick up the bigger horns that Kenneth does, and that we're going to start making our plan for next year. We have 3 big deer in here, don't we? We have Killer 10, Popper 10 who visits here a little bit, and Ocho, right? Those are the 3 big deer that we have in here. And all 3 of them will be close to booners, if not booners next year, if they grow. And so we need to make plans now, even though it's first day of March or first week of March. We're starting to make our plans and scouting right now and setting up those potential tree stand places. So that's the goal.
Somebody can cut here. Go up.
Okay.
And I'll walk down a little farther. Try to find a different spot to cross.
Alright. Whenever I come up here and hunt with Mark, this is usually the kind of stands he puts me in right here. I've never hunted this particular one, but I'm sure I will before it's over with.
A lot of people ask us about shed hunting and how we do it and what kind of organization we have to do this. And truthfully for us, it's a combination of shed hunting and actually scouting at the same time. This is some of our biggest scouting time. Even though there's no snow on the ground, this is where we come in and we knew the deer that we were after from last year and where they were and what we're going to change to this year to attempt to kill those deer, right? But as we're in here shed hunting, we put Kenneth and Dan and those guys, they're up on the south-facing slope. Even though we're in Kansas, it's a little bit warmer, they still in the wintertime just seem to, Chris, go to those south-facing slopes.
They always want to get warm.
Yeah, so they bed up on those sides, and obviously you add in that it's warmer there and they stay there longer during the days, and they're bedding there and it's warmer. That's where you're going to find a lot of the sheds. So between there and where the feeding area is, which we've got 2 of them, we got 1 here and 1 there. So that's the first step for us, is we really pay attention to the south-facing slopes. We get 2 things done then. We find out bedding areas, right? And we can find out which deer survived and which ones were there, and also our plans for next year on hunting those deer. So hey.
No, it really sucks.
That was last year's.
Yeah.
That's an old one. You missed this last year.
No, we didn't shed hunt here last year.
You missed this last year. Good story.
Yeah. Well, coming from the guy that you're usually the one that walks time.
I know. You don't have to tell everybody that.
That's why you wanted Dan and I, because we usually the ones that find them.
Yeah, look at this. We got a good trail here.
Little
Why is it laid right out in the open?
You missed this one? If you by chance don't see this, like, right away.
Hey, don't
fire.
Don't say. Okay. You can't fire me. I quit. I quit. Oh my God! Anybody can see that one. Come on, Dan. How'd you miss this one?
It wasn't the open enough.
A year old. Wasn't in the open enough for you? It wasn't wide open for you? I'll let you carry it. So you touch it. That way you can touch it.
Oh, is that that's what one looks like?
That's what they look like. Give you a little practice.
Is that what I'm going after this year?
That's too big for you.
Non-typical. Hey, Mark.
Yeah. Yo.
Come here.
Something we really don't want to find, do we?
No.
A match set, as they call that.
Yeah. Attached.
That was your deer light next year.
Oh.
Hey, you're always worried about getting a Kansas tag. Now you don't have to worry.
I don't have to worry about it now.
Oh, let me see that thing.
Look at that.
Man, let me just get down here. Look at this
Do
thing.
you know that deer?
This is old.
You think it's from the first
Hey, Chris, come over here and take a look.
Short
This
G2.
short G2, but
And then that little flyer there.
still had a kicker there. I don't. This is a couple. Look at the bases on this thing, though. This wasn't.
We had him early in the year, velvet.
This year?
Yeah, and then
It
we
looks
lost
older.
him. We lost him like pretty early in the year. But this was a deer we had kind of picked for Kenneth because of the age.
It's about right, ain't it?
It's a good looking deer. You would, tell me you would have shot this thing right away.
Well, before Quick could get ready.
I'd tell you you could take it home with you now, but you're not allowed to pick up deadheads here in Kansas, bud, so I'm sorry. See the squirrels? They're just going to keep on eating at it. So we can take a picture of it, though.
Yeah. We'll take a picture.
And say, this could have been yours.
The story of what could have been.
But see what happens when you're on these south slopes, you know, you probably don't have this as much down south where you're at, but here it's important. Even in Kansas, it's a little less important, but it is where it's still important, okay?
Yep.
Up in Iowa, Minnesota, it's everything. You just go over the south slopes.
Yeah.
But we found some good trails, the trails we were looking for. We found a couple of them, and it comes up to this little plateau right here. So we're going to go out on the edge here, and we call this the stupid spot.
The stupid spot.
Long story short, one of our buddies said that's the stupidest place I've ever seen to put a tree stand.
Yeah.
But it's one of those places you see deer all day. So,
Yeah.
But we call it the stupid spot. So
That's a shame.
yeah, you might have got to sit in the stupid spot.
I might have.
How funny would that have been?
That'd have been
Where's
pretty funny.
Kelly sitting in the stupid spot?
Man.
Yeah. You know, these guys always ask us, you know, how do you do this and the how-to stuff, and I'm like you. I don't like doing that kind of stuff because our how-to may not be what somebody else does.
Yep.
But you and I look at it and say, well, we have experience, right?
Yep.
So we can show what we do with our experiences and how it helps us harvest deer, or some days not harvest deer, right?
Yeah. More days not harvest deer.
But you know, I don't know everything, but it's our view of how to do some of this stuff, and if it helps somebody out there that hasn't done it before, the young kids, albeit, right?
Yep.
So, but we're definitely not the know-it-alls, but this is what we do here, and this is a great combination for us between shed hunting and scouting.
Oh yeah.
So you've been helping us out the last couple of years, even though you never get off the same farm. So
I love it over there.
you should. What's your success ratio over there? 100?
400%.
Yeah. You should like it.
But I hate that we found him. But I'm glad that we found him, so I'm not hunting him next year.
We've done that before, haven't we?
We have.
Well, I've hunted a deer before and it's dead already.
Oh,
So,
man.
well, sorry you can't pick it up though.
Oh well. Pretty
Cool.
deer.
Yeah, it was.
Here we go. It's an old one. Gonna eat off. Look how it swoops around. Pretty cool. Another way that we shed hunt is get in the side-by-sides, and we'll get in these CRP fields and ride around. Do it really slow, but we'll get a couple of us in the back because you can get up and get some height to look down in the CRP and be able to cover a lot of ground and find those sheds laying in the CRP.
We cheat a little bit here when we get these big open spots. We got all this. Yeah, pull in here, Kenneth. We got these big open spots here, and where our feeders and old food plots were, and these big CRP plots. We just get on top of the ATVs like good old rednecks now, and look for these horns. It's much easier to cover more ground because pack rats pick them up here quickly, so they're hard to find here in Kansas. Bird's eye view from up here, you can pick them up easier.
Pines right there. Ooh, that's a big one. Woo! Hey!
What you got? Which one is it?
Dude, I think it's Ocho.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ain't that Ocho?
Yeah. He's got some more broken horns, doesn't he?
Look at
Can't
that
believe,
stuff
look at this
coming
thing.
off his base right there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at that, Heath.
What you got?
Hey.
Those are the hard ones I found. He found the easy ones.
We got Ocho, you got Uno. Man.
Ocho Mas is actually his new name. He's 8-point. He was on the target list this year. We weren't real sure until now
Yeah.
how big he was, and if he was a shooter for sure, we'd have to wait till game time. But had he come out, he'd have been gone.
Didn't he have like a hook or
Here?
something right here?
He had this one here early, he had, and then this one here was a little bit longer. So we're looking at high 60s, low 70s. This stuff here is hidden on almost all the pictures on this deer. So
Yeah.
his other horn is about the same size, just less junk around the base. So we got lots of pictures of this deer. That's why we know so much about him. And this is kind of why we shed hunt, right?
Oh yeah.
This is like putting a,
That's like finding a.
yeah, this is almost as good as it's shooting him.
Yeah,
It's not obviously.
Not quite, but
you know
almost.
what I mean.
Yeah.
What we do here is, you know, this hunting for us is like a big piece of pie, I guess, for the best analogy we can put
Yeah.
it. And between shed hunting, cameras, all the encounters that you had this year and the encounters you didn't have where you just saw the deer off and say our tree stands in the wrong place.
Yep.
You take all those things, and there's so many more, and you put them together, helps us be more successful next year.
Yep.
And know that you probably won't be able to hunt this deer because he's too big.
I thought the deal was if you found the shed, you got to hunt the deer. So Heath gets to hunt that, and I get to hunt this.
I'll also tell you that's probably your deer for next time. If he doesn't grow too much.
You know what? Well, the feeder, I can see the feeder in the food plot right here where we had pictures of this deer from right there.
Yeah, and we've talked about this numerous times where one of the first things we do after season, what do we do?
We fill our feeders back up, make sure that they're full. Number one,
Yep,
because we don't want to run a deer off the place.
yep.
Number two is because that's a good place to find the sheds. Whenever they kind of congregate right there, it's a good place to find the sheds.
Yeah, there's a bunch of reasons, right? I mean, you can
Yeah.
go on and on and on. But one, first, it's nutrition, right? It's January, February on any place other than down south where you guys are at. Even there, the grass isn't really green,
Right.
Right. So it's good nutrition for them. Number two, keeps them close to the farm, right? It keeps them in our food plots, right here, 100
Yeah.
yards away, right?
Yeah, right there.
And one of the things that you and I have talked about numerous times is the ability for the cell cameras, right?
Yeah.
From knowing when the rut's starting to move, knowing when they have both horns still, so we don't go shed hunting and chase them off to somebody else's
Absolutely.
property. So,
Yep.
big deal for us, dude. Nice find.
We can go up here and show them actually how the setup is.
Yeah, let's go do that.
I found one old one too.
You probably walked through there last year. You probably missed it last year. Probably. I can blame it on him. Nice job.
I'm stoked, man. That's
we need to
awesome.
find Killer 10 now.
Maybe he'll be in a food plot up here.
That would be too easy.
Ooh, still some turnips in here, man.
That's that aroma.
Yep.
They look good, huh?
Yeah.
You notice anything about these?
The root's
I'm
still
looking
here?
around. No, most of the tops are usually chewed off on these,
Yeah.
and I've been told by a few smart guys out in the industry, If these aren't chewed off by this time of the year, which is March, the tops aren't for the middle of winter.
pH is off.
pH is off.
Yeah.
And I know we fertilized this good, but I'm not sure that we did a soil sample, so that's a lesson learned here.
Yeah.
These things should have all the tops chewed off with as many deer as we have here.
Right.
I know we got Big and J up there, but
Yeah.
they're competing with Big and J, but
Right.
they should be chewing the tops over. So pH is definitely off on this food plot.
Yep. Well, we know to fix that.
Boy, they smell strong, don't
There's
they?
tracks right there.
Good.
Oh, about
Man,
good.
look at this. They have
This
been
is what
wearing
smells
it
good.
out. This is what we're talking about right here. Even though the season's over, like Mark was talking about, we still have Big and J in the feeder, and we have a cell camera running over here. So not only is it a good place to find sheds, because the deer are going, you can tell they're going to congregate right here this time of year, but it still adds nutrition like we were talking about. Keeps the deer on the farm, and you can, when you got the cell camera running, you can kind of watch whenever they show up, and if they got this on their head, you know not to go look. But when they show up and they don't have this on their head, you know you can start looking.
And you're not going to chase a big buck to drop his horn across the fence on your neighbor.
Exactly.
On your neighbor. I'd hate to be your neighbor, because I don't want you picking him up.
You see the sheds I find.
Yeah. I guess the other tip that we have out here, that again we use those how-to videos, that everybody has their own opinions, and we're of the mindset that we don't care how you shoot your deer. We're just,
No.
I don't care if you use a crossbow, I don't care if you use 30-06, I don't care if you shoot them over bait.
Hunt.
Hunt.
If it's legal, it's legal.
Somebody brings up a buck and they show you a picture, be happy for them,
Exactly.
right? Same with these tips, but one of the big ones that we found out is a lot of guys like to go out wait for a nice sunny day for it. Let's go shed hunt. It's beautiful out, right?
Yeah.
First day we were here, it was sunny. It makes it really hard to see the sheds.
Yep.
It has like a reflective value, almost a 3D effect with the sun out. But yesterday when it was raining, and today it's overcast, these horns stick out like a sore thumb out there.
When I was coming up the trail, that white, especially this one as white as it is, it looked like a diamond in the rough laying in that.
And when these horns are wet, they actually shine. They actually have
they
they
have a
glisten
sheen
a little
to it.
sheen to them. That's the word I'm looking for. They have a sheen to
Yep.
it. How about a redneck from Mississippi giving me words?
How about that? You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Sheen,
Let's go
babe,
find
you
some
put
more
that.
horns. Go find Killer 10 for me, will you?
This week's featured property is a really cool property in Smith County, Texas. This 154 acres is only 45 minutes from downtown Tyler and is just an overall great recreational tract. You know, it's got great road system, great road frontage, and has a variety of different things that make it awesome to the recreational buyer. It's also a great investment. For the recreational buyer, it's got great creek frontage, as an 18-acre duck slough that makes for great duck hunting. Then it has a 2 to 3 acre lake that's got fish in it and partially stumped out. It's also got beautiful timber on it, and an 8-acre hayfield that will make a great dove field, a great year-round recreation as far as cattle or horses. This tract has so many options. So if you're looking for a great tract near Tyler, Texas, you need to check out this 154 acres. It's a great tract, and you won't be disappointed.
Pretty good haul, huh?
Yeah, I did real well.
I'd say you did.
You found the 2 biggest horns, all right? Touch them now, because when season comes, you're never going to get that
see them
tree
again.
stand.
Well, y'all, look, just to touch on a few points that we've run through the last couple of days. South-facing slopes. Keep your feeders full after the season's over. Good place to find them. Keep the deer, on your place. Be able to watch them on cell cameras. If they're dropping there at the feeders, you know when to go look for them. Keep from running the bucks off your place.
Rainy days are the best day to find the horns.
Exactly.
As it's raining right now.
That's exactly right. And the last thing I'll say is I think that we hit pay dirt.